everybody, it's me, Mrs. Simmons-Machota, and I'm back today to talk to you about how to write the body paragraphs of your essay using this graphic organizer. So right away it says, identify tactic 1, begin with a transition for this topic sentence. And I'm going to do the same thing over here for body paragraph 2. I can jump between them and keep them straight in my mind, but if you can't, you should do one whole section and then do the next section, if that makes sense. So I'm going to come back to this organizer that I kind of use to collect my ideas. And I know that I'm going to talk about verbal assault as the first one. So I'm going to start with a transition to begin with. The first harmful tactic used to marginalize is verbal assault. Do not call me out if I spell something wrong. I can just hear you right now. The next thing I want to do is talk about the definition and tactics. So I'm going to grab this graphic organizer and I'm going to look at the definition. It says verbal assault is the vicious and inflammatory remarks meant to insult or put down an individual or group. So I'm going to put that into my own words and I'm going to say verbal assault are mean, hurtful remarks made to insult a person or a culture. Now I'm going to use a transition that shows me evidence, and I'm going to come to my graphic organizer. So the first one I'm going to use is verbal assault. So I'm going to take this example that we had from when we read Bodie's Coming to America, and we talked about the immigrant from China. I just kind of highlighted it on my graphic organizer so that it would pop out to me when I was organizing. Remember, we talked about that this box is actually going to be both of these boxes. So I'm going to put a 1 here, and I'm going to label this with a 1, because everything that I have here, I'm going to write here. And then I'm going to turn this paper over. Explain your marginalization is coming from this box, so I'm going to label this a 2, and this a 2. I'm going to pull connect to the dream deferred right here, so I'm going to label this 3 just so that I remember. And you've got it, this last box is box number, I'm going to label this with a 4, and all of this information I'm just going to rewrite and put here. Okay, I'm not going to waste your time filling that in, but just so that you remember, this box is both of these two sentences. Then here, why is this marginalization? Connection to a dream deferred comes from here. And then explaining how it supports marginalization, that's my sentence that I'm pulling here. I'm going to do that on the same side right here, but now I'm going to start, you might have some trouble connecting these ideas. I'm going to use a transition in addition to verbal assault, because I'm going to pull this idea, that's called hooking my sentences together, hooking my ideas. Another harmful tactic used to marginalize is economic sanctions. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come back here to this anchor chart. I'm going to read my definition of economic sanctions: withholding necessary resources to deny basic needs. I'm going to put that in my own words. Economic sanctions deny basic human needs to a targeted group of people. Remember to put that in your own words. Don't use it word for word for this graphic organizer. Rephrase that in your own. Then I'm going to pull my next graphic organizer where I talk about economic sanctions. And I'm going to pull the Can Man. We were a little overzealous in class, and we actually pulled 2 in here, so I just need to be careful that I'm pulling the second example. So just like we did before, this paragraph, this sentence right here is coming from here in my graphic organizer. I'm going to label that a 1. I'm going to put a 1 there. Explain why it's marginalization is right here, this one. I'm going to put a 2. Connecting to the dream deferred comes here. I'm going to put a 3. And then explaining how that connects to marginalization, that's right here. And that's a 4. I hope this helps you write your body paragraphs of your essay. The next video will talk about conclusions if that's what you need help with. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can always go back and replay this if you need more help. Have a great night.